Hey, what's going on, guys? Back out here today. We're gonna get started on the Santa Maria grill again, and see if we can get it finished up today, or very close to being finished. Um, I'd like to get this flat bar stock around the front, just acting as a counterweight to the piece I put in the back to keep you from pushing your food off the back. So when it goes up, I don't want it to be heavier on one side and want to bounce around or not go up very smooth. So put this lip on the front. It'll help it seat back where it should, and also I think it'll look a little more finished with that lip around the front. So that'll go there. Then I bought some eye bolts to make my pulley system for the chain. I'll bring the camera a little bit closer when we get to that part. But and as far as the locking mechanism goes for the Santa Maria, I'm going to wait till everything's done and there's weight actually on the wheel before I figure out how I want to put this. That way I know where it's best used. So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, guys, we put in some work on her today. Let's start with the obvious driftwood handle for the locking mechanism. We'll get to that in just a minute, as well as the driftwood piece for the handle to turn the wheel. I still have to get a washer that goes on the bottom here, cap this off, sand it, make it look real pretty, and wash on either side of this bracket for the locking mechanism. But I'm not going to hold up putting a video out for 4 washers. So I'll come home tomorrow or later tonight after we run a bunch of errands and I'll weld those things into place. Take me all of 10 minutes, maybe. Take me longer to get the welder out than it will to get that stuff done. So, got the driftwood from a lake about an hour from here. Picked it up on the boat one day and just brought it home, and I've used it for different things in the house. So, that's really smooth, nice touch, I think. And then as well as this here. Let's see if I can bring you in a little bit closer on this locking mechanism here. So the reason all the weight is forward is to keep the weight forward here on this. Looks like a gear. I'm gonna call it a gear on the gear or the lock itself, whatever. So when you pull this thing up, obviously once I put those washers on it, it won't have this play in it. So let's just pretend like it's got it for now. But you can see it locks there. Now, once the washer's there, it'll go just like this, all the way up, and then it'll lock itself in place. You can see the grill starting to come up now. I'll show y'all in a minute it all working. And then when you're ready, just grab this, pull it out, and let gravity do the work. Pull it back down to where it needs to be. Boom. And then you just find a place for that to sit. So now that I showed you that, I'll try to do it and stay out of the way. But she's up. Give you enough room to get in there and get your wood stacked and get your fire going. Let's see if I bring you in here a bit. I went with, you can probably see in the time lapse at the beginning of the video, it started with chain. And the chain's rated for it, I don't know, a couple 100 pounds it said, but when I was pulling it through these eyelets, it was stretching that chain apart. So it was just a little flimsy for me, and I didn't want to have to even look at it. So this aircraft cable, you'll never have to worry about it. It's actually cheaper than that chain was. The only thing I don't like about it is the way I had to put these little locks on here. I'm not a big fan of that. I wanted it to be streamlined, and I probably could have done it if I didn't already have these little eyelets welded in place for the chain. I could have done it and made it all one big piece. It would not have had to have these up top. I could have just had them down at the bottom. You never would have really noticed them, but they're there and they're going to stay there, and it's going to cook just fine no matter what. You can see where I just lowered it there. It hung up and I had to pop it down. There's a couple tacks that are still under there. Let me see. I don't know if the camera will show that. There's a couple tacks on here where I had, when I was trying to mock up this round grill grate and all that stuff. So once I come in here with that finishing disc, that flap disc, get it nice and smooth, it should seat right where it's supposed to. Just fine. We have a working Santa Maria grill. She goes up and down. Does what she's supposed to do. That loud screeching noise will go away once I burn a fire in this thing and then season that. I'm also going to season this metal, and I'm also going to cover it in a lot of oil. So that oil will get in there. It'll get in both of these metals, and it should go up and down a little bit quieter. It's still going to be metal on metal, but it should be pretty quiet. The only thing we lack on the Santa Maria, which I'm not going to do yet until I figure out where my storage crate or storage bin or whatever you want to call it is going to be welded, it is the bottom where I have my ash pull out. I haven't built the mechanism to pull it out. I know it. I want it up in the front somewhere where I can just pull it out, put it back. I just don't want it to get in the way of anything I plan on building here. So for now, that will remain unfinished, but it's on purpose. But yeah, that's it. So like always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.